If one or two of you guys could just pass around the social media stuff and just post into the Discord for me, I appreciate it. I'll be on mic here in just a second. Okay, thank you guys for joining me in a what I'm going to call a very, very fast crypto treehouse. This one's good. So my air conditioning. If you're wondering what's up with the title on the video, my air conditioning broke, and it is hot up in here. It is 116 degrees in this room right now. It is brutal. So I am literally making soup in my own clothes right now. So I'm sitting next to a very powerful computer that's making this room 10 degrees hotter than the rest of the house, but it's just been tepid. I don't know what it is outside the Midwest right now, but it is brutal right now. So, I mean, before I lose brain function, I'm gonna go through this really, really fast. Just take a quick look here. I mean, I've been in and out here just looking at markets, and can't run a fan while I'm on with you guys because it'll just you'll hear too much background noise. So I'm pretty much going fanless at the moment here. So this is going to be probably the fastest live cast I've ever done here. We just want to kind of hit a few facts. Now, again, you guys were expecting me to do the first part of the roundtable today, and I had my heart was in it, guys. But when I came in here and this place was literally like walking into the pit of hell, it's just not going to happen because I'm going to have to be spending probably at least 3 hours just doing the first part. So as soon as I get this 10 to 2, we'll get on it. So don't. It's not time sensitive, so don't worry about that. And any of you guys that are in that, don't worry about that 15-day thing because I'm extending all you guys to the end of the year. So this is something you'll be able to go back and access again and again and again. So I don't know why he set that up as a 15-day deal, but don't sweat it because you'll have access until January 1st of next year. So, and of course, obviously the live stream, you'll be part of that. When we do that, and I do eventually get this thing calmed down to somewhat less of a slow boil, and I'm able to sit in this room for long periods of time here, hopefully this week, then I'll go ahead and do my first live, and so don't worry about that. Okay, so before I explode, how you guys doing, man? This is really just quite the market, isn't it? It looks very, very hopey. So I'll tell you, I've been busy with a lot of things. Like I said, my girlfriend came back. She's been back from the hospital, so she's doing well. So thank you for all you guys who've had comments and sending your love and stuff like that. So she's doing well. So I've been sleeping an awful lot, but she's actually was out laying on the deck and out in the sun today. So she's somewhat functional, sleeping a lot as somebody with a brain injury would. And it's looking good. So haven't got the bill for the hospital yet. That'll be fun. So no insurance. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at things here. So let's start here with Big Daddy Bitcoin. Take a look and see what's going on here. So we're looking at the 1-day chart. And basically, let me back up here real quick here too. I'm kind of out of sorts because my mind's not working right already. So for you guys that are new to the live stream, thank you very much for joining us. My name is Baron. I am from FibbyCharts.com and from the unfairadvantage.chat. If you'd like to know a little bit more about us, I don't have that because I've got our crypto treehouse graphic up. If you'd like to know more about us, just simply look at the description for this video, and you'll find the subscription site for our charts that we're going to be using, which are these right here, on our main website, which is FibbyCharts.com. Looks like that right there. Just simply go to the subscribe and you can jump on in. If you want to join us over at the Discord, which is free to do, and you guys are more than welcome to come on in, behave yourself, or we'll give you Das Boot. We don't want to do that. But if you'd like to come in and check out and see what we're doing, it's free to join, and you can do that at the unfairadvantage.chat. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. All right, so Bitcoin, this is obviously, let's go back and review here for the kids that are just showing up. So these lines right here designate the first, and this is the last. This is the first of next month. This is the first of the month after that. So we're kind of watching. So when this whole thing got started, I told you that we're going to start making some moves around about here, and we have. We've been working up. Now, I was telling you that I really wanted to, let's go ahead and chalk talk this a little bit. I told you I'd really like to see as much run-up as I possibly can get here. And it hasn't really been fabulous, but then again, I can't really say that I'm surprised. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to see a little bit of a run-up, because the idea being is that we would have more time to go down, because by the time we get to October, I'm expecting the real kickoff. That's my prognosis at this point in time. Not really liking the idea that we haven't really had much of a run-up. Still saying there's plenty of time. We've got, about 40, 45 days before we get to the middle, to basically this little window right here. When we get in this window is when I think we're going to start seeing something in a positive direction. We're heading towards that. I won't elaborate as to why, but there's many reasons. A few is because we are entering a place and a time financially in this country where basically the Fed is out of money. The country is out of money at that point in time. So there's going to be a crisis of faith in banking, in real estate, in stocks, in bonds. Pick your favorite poison, and in crypto. And people are going to be freaking out, and they're going to be pulling their money out. But the money does not sit idle. It has to go somewhere. So this is, I think, when crypto is going to start to really get its first full breath, and it's going to start to take precedence over everything else. And, of course, obviously, we know the whole narrative about the Great Reset and whatnot. Won't get into that tonight. But suffice it to say, I'm a little disappointed we haven't seen more of a run-up. But then again, I'm not surprised either, because let me go back and let's review what I said over a month ago. I said 42 to 48 likely zone. And where are we at? 42 to 48 right here. I said now 51 is where we're going to assess further upside. We haven't made it. It's not looking good. Not looking good at all. Now this is a 1-day chart. And obviously we're looking at the green, the red, the blue as being what we call the Snapdragon, which is our moving average index, which tells us, are we going up, we're going down, we're going sideways. And we look at all the other indicators, such as the MACD, the RSI, and the DMI, and none of them are looking particularly bullish at this particular point in time. So at best, we got some sideways move, which I think sideways is probably the worst thing that we could be in, because we could go, and just all of a sudden snap one way or the other way, and it's going to catch us more with our pants down. It would be nice if we could get a little bit of direction where we could sink our teeth into, but basically if we could break above this area right here, then we can start betting to the upside, at least for a little while before it hooks and goes down. But we're not even getting that, so not feeling particularly bullish. I'm not feeling particularly good about the fact. I think there's going to be a sneak attack. Is what I think as far as the move goes. But we really got to get it done within this area right here. We've got to pick a damn direction here. And right now, that is kind of curling over. It's not doing anything particularly bullish. It's not really showing much of anything. So let's go ahead and take a look. In cases like this, and of course, obviously, if you guys are following my live stream, you know how I look at these markets. I look at 3 indicators. I look at Doge, I look at XRP and I look at Bitcoin. The reason being, and I'll cover this again one more time, Bitcoin being a leader, XRP being an outlier, and Doge just being just kind of an everyday coin. And just kind of an outlier, a weird coin. So if those three things are moving together, I know we've got a trend, because those three kids are not doing the same thing. They're all in a class and of themselves. When they're moving together in a downward motion or an upward motion or a sideways motion, it's something you can sink your teeth in and believe in. If Bitcoin is going up and the other two are going down, it gives you pause and makes you wonder what the hell's going on, or the other way around. So it's always good to look at different markets. And then to a lighter degree, we look at something like XRP, and then we look at little brother XLM, and we say, are those two moving together? And so we start to build a case for a real direction on the market. And so that's pretty much where we're at right now. So right now I'm not feeling, this is why I haven't been, aside from other things, this is why I haven't really been live casting. There's not that much to say. I don't want to come on and get you guys all pumped up in a direction, because a lot of you guys act on the things that I say. And if I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to say it. I am not going to come on and give you 50, 60 prices and have you guys try to discern what it is I said or what it is I meant, because if I don't feel it, I'm not going to say it. So, all right. So anyway, let's go ahead and set this aside, because I will probably talk about this a little bit more. So let's go to our next indicator, which is XRP. So XRP now, to look at this, this looks very classic, like it's going to make a move up. Now, we all know what's coming or what should be coming for XRP. We're inching our way ever so slowly to the day where we get adoption by the banks. I mean, you know, the gloves are off, and we're in doing our thing. Looking at this, classically looking at this, it looks very bullish. But again, I'll defer you to the idea that you know, all the glitters is not gold, especially in crypto. But what we're looking at here, generally speaking, is let's go ahead and get the thing. What we're looking at here is, generally speaking, we're looking at a cup and handle right here. Now, cup and handle, as you well know, we've covered this many times, basically is the depth of the cup gives you the move. If you take the move, you stack it right here. It's going to, and I'm just being broad here, I'm just kind of sketching around a little bit. More or less, it'll take you more or less right to this AI line right here. Now, is a pretty believable thing? Yes, because we've already got confluence right there. So generally speaking, if I were getting them a little bit more precise about it, that would put you, I'm pretty comfortable in saying right about there. That's where we should go. But a lot of you guys have been watching my live streams, and you've learned the latest thing that I've discerned, which is, I kind of call it a 50% fake out. We're seeing it so much, it's almost getting to be the rule, not the exception. And for you guys that are late to the live stream or just new to my channel, let me explain what that is. So if we're taking, let's go back with the main preface here for a second, the main premise here. So the exchanges know that every joker who knows how to read a chart knows this is a cup and handle, and we all know it. If you understand classical technical analysis, then you know this is a cup and a handle. And so you know also from that this is basically the move a cup and a handle produces. It produces what we call a velocity. A velocity is this, more or less, this distance right here, which is from the bottom to the edge of the cup. We call it velocity. Velocity stacked on the end of the handle gives you a move right here to there. So they know we're hoping, we're betting, we're praying, and we're gambling on the whole that this is the move. So these guys are putting in longs because, oh baby, I'm going to go to Tahiti. And so that's what they're doing. They're throwing down money, and they're hoping for a 71% rise. Let me tell you right now, guys, never going to happen. Not in this market. Never going to happen. Now, this is a one-day chart, by the way. But I'm telling you right now, in the markets that we're seeing, the way they're manipulated, we're just grinding out the rent money right now. I mean, we're making 5%, 10%. You know, yes, there are those. I'm speaking broadly for the guys that are the day traders. There is nobody pulling 20, 25, 30% daily returns without leverage. And doing it consistently like they were probably 3-4 months ago, because these markets are manipulated to beat the band. And so what you're going to see, generally speaking, is something called a 50% fake out, which is something that we've seen. We see it on the 15-minute, we see it on the hour, we see it on the daily. But since we're looking at the daily here, let me explain to you what I'm talking about. Yeah, that is a hell of a move, 71%. I'm not saying we won't get there someday, but I'm saying if you're betting the farm, if you're throwing down right now expecting you're going to see this play out, you are going to be sorely disappointed. And you're going to be broke too, because they're going to take your money. So what's going to end up happening is likely. If this plays as a cup and handle should, it will go up a percentage. People will start filing in, taking their positions, and they're sitting there. You got to remember, they can see our cards. We're playing with house money on houses in the casino with a camera over our back. They can see our every move. They know the bets we're placing. They know how many of us are placing the bets. They know how large those bets are. They know they know everything about it. So there are no secrets in crypto. Okay. And the thing that you must understand is when they get enough of you guys stacked up for longs, they're going to get you encouraged. They're going to take you up about 50%. And then they're going to drop the hammer on you and they're going to take it from you. And all you guys that don't know about this 50% fake out are going to go, what happened? What? There was supposed to be a kaboom. And there wasn't a kaboom. There was a splat. And so what ends up happening is it goes up 50%. But let me show you something very, very interesting. At 50%, you have confluence right here. So there's a case to be made for a 50% run up. Now, so if you've got cup and handle telling you this, but you're seeing confluence here, you guys that understand basic TA will not argue with me. You know that what I'm telling you is right. So here's what's going to happen. At best, probably not even this much. You're going to see with XRP, it's going to go up probably to this AI line right here, or maybe a little bit further, and then it's going to pull back again, or it's going to do what we call a J-hook, and it's going to come down. So be expectant of that. So the next run you see is not the run. It's a hopium run. So let's go back to Bitcoin again. How could we get this? Well, let me go back and make a case for this. If we have a pump, everything starts with Bitcoin. I'm going to try and work through this real fast here while the heat builds up in this room. If we get a run above this line here, which is very possible, we've tested the crap out of this thing. It just keeps testing, and sooner or later we're going to break that, and we're going to come up. Now, if we come up here to possibly this AI line right here, we got a lot of confluence right here. We got to break right through this general area right there. Now we could come up that far. Now in Bitcoin, again, that would be a 50% move. This is TA. This is why this is gray, and I'm not making this a call. I'm here to show you this is what should happen, because again, we've got another velocity move right here that should play out. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, because again, they're looking at our cards. They know we're betting on this. So I can tell you right now, there's a lot of people that are throwing down longs on this, hoping for this. So they're waiting for enough of you to take a position, then they're going to show you something, and then they're going to take it away. So what's going to happen is they're going to run this thing up, Bitcoin up about 50% in confluence with like this, and they're going to take it away. While this is going on, this is going to go on. Same thing right here. So be mindful of the fact that we're going to probably, when we start to see a run, it'll be a run that has very short legs. It'll go for a while, and then we'll be back down, and we'll be dropping again. Because, as I told you, you guys have been with me on live stream for a long time. I'm not expecting anything real to start happening until we get in deeply into this orange box. So we've got, and again, this is a day chart, we've got time to run up and then time to finally start falling. Down, 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 down. It's speculative, guys. I know you would love me to be able to tell you, when's the day, how far is it going? Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. But I am telling you the statistics, I'm telling you the averages and the probabilities, and I'm telling you how these things are going to play out. And I've been right all along. So it's coming. It's coming. Now, I can't give you Thursday at 3 o'clock, put in your order for 0.005 or something like that. If I could do that, then let me tell you what, I wouldn't be on here, Mike, teaching you guys this stuff. I'd be somewhere else. So, but nonetheless, we do have a very good winning track record. So the thing is, it's better to be forearmed and prepared for this stuff and know it's coming than to just pile in the boat and say, oh, we're going to the moon, and then go, well, what happened? How come they took it all away from us again? Because it is going to happen again. They're going to keep beating us down and beating us down. But until we start getting down to these targets that have been called by ISIS, we are not going up. These are all targets. I've left all of these things here because our AI system has shown these things are all going to play out. And if you guys understand and you've been around long enough, you know some of these things can sit here for probably about 10, 20 days, 30 days, but they hit and they come out of the blue and you never see them coming. And it happens more often than not. So I'm going to leave that right here. But anyway, when this thing kind of gets in here, we're crossing the start of the month. Really oddly doesn't really mean a whole hell of a lot. That's a marker to us. But generally, the financial people are not all that stricken with January 1st, February 1st. It doesn't really matter to them. Now, another thing that we need to kind of talk about here, world events are going to start creating some pressure. We got a lot of stuff coming up, guys. 20th anniversary of 9/11. I mean, you don't think that's going to be opening a wound in the public consciousness? You know, we've got a holiday, a 3-day holiday here in America, Labor Day, that's coming up. They always pull some shifty crap on us just before a 3-day holiday weekend. And so, you know, we've got Uncle Joe's gonna drop a lockdown speech on us, and then the boogeyman vax is gonna get you. You know, we've got a lot of stuff, and none of this stuff has come to light yet. Well, when is it gonna happen? Well, it's gonna happen right in here. Right in here. Is anyone going to go, well, you know, this is a good time to go and go on a family vacation, and this is a good time to feel good about America, and this is a good time to feel good about, you know, buying that car or, you know, buying a new house, whatever. And no. Everybody's going to be freaking out, pulling everything they got close to themselves, selling everything, food shortage, toilet paper runs, all that crap's happening right inside of this faded white box. It's all going to happen. I mean, we've already got a test taste of what this looks like. You know, when I was trapped over in Kenya, and the first time when Corona started, I watched YouTube, and to no surprise, watched the chaos that ensued very, very shortly. And that was just a test run. I mean, that wasn't even bad. This one's the real deal. And when it happens, I assure you, we're going to have enough pressure. It's going to take us way down, far beyond these arrows. So don't you worry a bit. It's going to happen. With absolute certainty. So by the time we get into October, though, you're going to have the smart money, the people that were prepared, the people that had the money, the people that had the food stuck aside, the people that had the bomb shelters or the bug out packs, whatever. Those people are going to be tired of sitting on their money, and they're going to go looking for something to invest in. Guess what that's going to be? It's going to be crypto. It's not going to be real estate. It's not going to be stocks. It's not going to be bonds. I can tell you that much right now. Silver's a wild card. I'm going to stay out of that conversation because that's not my wheelhouse. But there, you know, money has to go somewhere. It just does. And so by the time we get into this general area right here, you're going to start to see that money flood into crypto, and that's what's going to drive this up. So we'll not to belabor that too much. All right. Okay. So everybody up on what I'm thinking here. So basically, we're looking for probably a little bit of a boost. I can kind of give you an approximation of about where, you know, probably, and it's not going to be a straight flush. You're looking from about where we're at now, and this is again a day chart. So, you know, pace yourself. None of you guys should be swing trading XRP. What you should be doing is looking for the lows, buying in, and then holding the hell out of it, because there's no reason to be jumping in and out of XRP. There's plenty of other crypto to be doing that with. But you've got, from here, you got about a 17%. I believe we'll go up a little bit higher, probably right about there. You probably got about roughly a 25 to 30%, but I do not in any way, shape, or form think we're going to go even above 40% before this thing flips, turns, and drops back down. I believe more realistically, probably 17 to 25% over the course of several hours, maybe in a few days. So, all right. So let's take a look at Theta. There's been a few, well, and actually I want to back up. So I'll take a look at that. We're going to take a look at that. So XDC. XDC is one that, you know, I've just been waiting because the time wasn't right. Now, I'm very tempted to speak on this week's events, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Some people have made some predictions, and some other people have made some predictions. I've made my predictions, and I told you where it was going to go, and it went. And I told you where it was going to go, and it went. There are some people that are making predictions on YouTube that are shotgun blasting every goddamn number in the book and calling it a prediction. And that's not how this works, kids. You're screwing with people's financing. You got to understand what you're talking about, or you should shut up. And so, bottom line here, guys, is XDC, I was not ready to talk about it because it was not in a favorable position. Now it's starting to go down. Now I'm starting to feel it. Now we've had our trend up. As I told you, broadly speaking, this thing was going to break down. And I told you this when we got up here, that this thing was going to break. And when it broke in and it broke past that, it's going to come in. I'm now liking it. In fact, I've even taken a position. I took a position right here. Not a huge position. It was a swap position, not a buying position. I want to be very, very clear about that. I don't believe that this is where you should be buying in with money. I'm just moving one asset that's not going to move as fast into this because I believe that this is going to move faster because I think the time is going to be soon. So I'm not going to give Not going to give an upside prediction. I do have some upside targets for this, but until everything starts moving positive, we're not going to have that discussion. All right. So we're looking for buying opportunities, not dreaming opportunities right now. So the idea is to buy this thing at smart prices, and smart prices are below this. Excuse me. Smart prices are start below that line, and probably right in that box right there. All right. Now that's in a harder crash scenario. So anyway, XDC is now on the radar. We'll be talking about XDC quite a bit more. All right, so XLM, and we're kind of calling it the X triplets now. So XLM, XRP, XDC. Those are all. So you guys that are subscribed to Gold Package and up, we actually have a special chat room for the Gold Package, the Platinum Package, and the Diamond Package, where we have a dedicated chat room that just for the X triplets, I guess you could call it, where we basically cover prices and we cover talking about stuff and daily changes, and I cover charts and stuff like that. So if you guys want to upgrade and come out of those smaller packages or come in, I would recommend highly that you at least jump in or move up to gold, because there's a lot more good to be had at the gold and up, because there's many rooms that you're not seeing from public chat. So, all right. So anyway, XLM. Boy, it's getting hot in here. I'm sliding in my chair. It's so bad. Oh my God. It's like I cannot believe if my air conditioning was working just fine this morning and then just quit. I mean, I've turned it off for a while to defrost it, but it's just that there's just 2 weeks in the Midwest where it just gets I mean, I knew it was coming, but wow, just wow. So it'll break, but this is definitely not fun. All right, so XLM is, again, it's walking right down, and it popped up just a little bit outside of this. So are we ready to go bullish on this? Well, this thing has really slid from 50% on the dollar of XRP price to 30 cents on the dollar. I've said many times with you guys that XLM is going to perform short-term better than XRP. I keep saying this on every broadcast, and people are like, well, what do you mean by that? What I mean is you have to remember there was a point in time where XRP was it was just getting kicked. And there was a time when XLM actually sold for more than XRP. Never thought it'd see the day, but it did. And so, we have a historical time when that was a reality. Now, am I suggesting that's going to happen again? Not necessarily. But again, XLM is a better price than XRP right now. It has less drama. It's easier to get into. It's easier to get out of. So if you're wanting to swing trade XRP, I would just suggest to you that you just take a look at XLM, because, why do you want to screw around getting locked out or locked into something that you probably can't move as easy? If you want to get into trading the X's, as it were, XLM is a fine one to do. And at the prices right now that we're at, if you get a boo-boo and you buy and maybe it doesn't work out your way, it'll be fine. It's going to do just fine. So if you're buying hoping this thing, I'm just speaking broadly, so don't take this as financial advice. If you're looking to get in and you think, okay, well, I think it's going to go up here, which it's not at this point in time. I think it's going to go up. And you take a position, let's say at 35 cents, and this thing goes to 30 cents or something like that, don't sell it, don't freak out. It's going to come around. When it comes around, it's going to come around mightily. It's going to do just fine, thank you very much. But, when you make those stupid moves, another stupid move you can make is turn around and sell immediately. You guys, and we have a talk about this. This is a favorite term that I talk about, trade sickness. Trade sickness is the act of doing something for the sake of doing it, not thinking about what you're doing. And that's why my viewers lovingly refer to these broadcasts as cryptotherapy, because sometimes you guys need a little cryptotherapy. You got to take the medicine. Sometimes you guys, you got a nice new shiny computer, you got 8 monitors, you got to do something because you're set up for business, and you got to buy something, you got to sell something. That is not the way you invest. You invest when the opportunity comes along. If you guys have been, some of you guys that are new on the live stream, you don't know me very well. There was a time when I didn't buy anything for a month and a half because I watch these things logically. I look at them as opportunities. If it's not there, I'm not going to force the cards, so to speak. Now, I know that's extremely hard to do, but we were going through some time when it was stupid because all of the moves that were predicted or should have been predicted using TA went not only 50%, they went 180 degrees the other direction. And so you don't want to be jumping into those markets just using hopium. I mean, if you hope with your money, then you might as well just give it away, because eventually that, you might get lucky once or twice, but if you start thinking you're Rockefeller, or start thinking you're Warren Buffett because you did a couple decent trades, you're going to get schooled damn fast, because these markets give you just enough to build encouragement and then they take it away from you. So I don't want to see any of you guys getting trade sickness simply because you feel like you got to be doing something. I think a lot of the people that are in our group that are new, some of you guys are not so new, suffer from patience. It's a hard thing to develop. Patience is a very hard thing to develop, especially when you see, oh, look at that over there, it's going up, and mine's not going up. Oh, look at this, that's going up, and then mine's not going up. Or this one went down, and mine's kind of not doing anything. It's hard. It's very hard. It's a psychological battle against yourself. And so what you must understand is it's a race against yourself. You're not competing with the guy next to you. You're not competing with the coin next to you. You're looking at your portfolio, and you're asking yourself, in a conversation of one, how can I grow this pile bigger? End of sentence. I could plant my garden over here in ADA. I could plant it in XRP. Once you put your seed in the ground, leave it there. Leave it there. Let it grow. Don't rip out your carrots and go stick them in the corn patch and then take it over and put it in with the broccoli or whatever. You don't do that. That's what's the biggest problem most of you guys have when you trade, is you're constantly pulling your seed out of the ground before it has a chance to grow. And if you guys will just exhibit some patience, you will see it's impossible. And I air quote that. It's damn near impossible to fail in this market. But you must understand that you're spoiled children when it comes to returns. Because if you were in a normal market, investing in stocks, investing in real estate, investing in any of the normal, quote unquote normal, you'd be getting 5, 10, 20 at a good day % return. 20 makes me yawn on a daily return, on an hourly return, because that's the kind of money we're used to seeing in this market. So it's hard to see everybody else making all this crazy ass money, but that's them. That's not you. Now, the question you're not asking yourself is, what else has this guy done? Because I've never said it on this broadcast, but I'm going to say it now. Nobody gets on YouTube and broadcasts their failures. Oh, man, think about that. Hey, I just lost my ass, guys. How many people have you heard on YouTube saying that? No. You're seeing the Lamborghinis. You're seeing the houses. You're seeing all the success. It's a false narrative. Nobody gets into investing that doesn't lose money. And so you're only hearing about the 1 out of 100 successes, or the 1 out of 1,000, or the 1 of 1 because they haven't been in it long enough and they think everything they touch turns to gold. So don't let that make you yank your carrots out of the ground and go stick them over in the corn patch or whatever. This is a battle against yourself. This is a war with yourself. This is a race with yourself. So your objective is to take X, add Y, and get Z as fast as possible. Don't worry what everybody else is doing, because the thing about it is if this guy had one win, and slow and steady wins the race. I know that hurts to hear. I know it's tremendously boring to hear. It's not sexy. It's not sexy, but it's true. It's very true. And so we are at a time and a place. I'm kind of getting off on a rant here, but that's what I do. And so we are in a time and a place where you get those seeds in the ground, guys. And get those seeds, buy those quality seeds, not that GMO shit. get the good stuff. The good stuff that's going to last you. XRP, XLM, ADA, Polkadot. I could go on and on and on. Get those things in the ground. Put a little water on them and then walk away. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. It's breaking through the ground. I see a leaf. I'm going to yank it out and I'm going to go plant something else. Don't do it, because the only person that gets rich in that is the exchanges. Because there's going to come a time, and it needs to be said, there's going to come a time when these opportunities are no longer going to be available. And I'm going to have to kind of bring this full circle, and we'll get back to the charts here. What I want you to understand, you guys that are somewhat new to this, and guys that should know this, what I want you to understand is this is not how it's going to be forever. A lot of you guys, I know I watch. I'm like Batman. I just sit on the rooftops watching y'all. But I watch you in the chats. Because this is what gives me things to talk about on crypto therapy. I watch you guys and I watch your conversations, and I see, I would love to just come in and go knock it off, but I don't. But if it gets to be really bad, I speak up. But But I see it's the same common themes over and over and over again. You guys are moving and trading in and out, in and out, in and out. And that's what you don't want to do, because getting back to my point here, my thing I wanted to make you aware of is there's going to come a time when these yields, these returns are no longer going to be available. Think about the dot-com boom. I mean, what's really popping? Forget the fact we have weird stock market. Yes, I can see that. But I mean, what's coming to market right now and going 1,000x? Are you seeing any new Amazons? Are you seeing any new Microsofts from back in the day? No, because those markets have normalized, and when everybody's in the market, there's just more buyers than there are, anything, and it's just ho hum. It's business as usual. Crypto is going to get like that too, 3-4 years out from now, or even sooner. And so we are in the Wild West, and it's unregulated. It's kind of fun. It's extremely dangerous sometimes. But here's the thing, these returns are not going to be everyday occurrences for the rest of your life, not even for a decade. And probably a half a decade. You've probably got, and I'm just spitballing here, but you've really got the aggressive part of this curve. We'll call it a bell curve. The aggressive part of this bell curve, we're just eking up the left side of that curve. Just starting to hit that little part where it elbows before it really takes off. If you understand what a bell curve looks like, you get that part where it's a slow rise, and then we kind of go into that crux, and all of a sudden, takes off. We're just almost pre-area. That's where we're at right now. When we go full, that's when it's over. We hit the top, we get that pause like you get on a roller coaster, and then everything levels off. We're not, and we probably will go down too, but that's when the regulation comes. That's when the fun gets sucked out of the room. So here, back to the seed analogy. You're not going to be able to play the game you're playing by constantly pulling your seed out of the ground again and again and again and again, because what you're going to notice is as you yank those seeds out of the ground and you plant them in new fertile soil, they're not growing as big as they used to. Okay, have I made my point? All right. So that's kind of the lesson for today, the rant for today that I want to talk about. And so let's go ahead and run through a few charts here before I turn into complete soup in my chair. It's about 119 degrees in here right now. I've got my temperature thing. It's bad. I'm like, it is hot. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. And so we've got XLM. So let's take a look at something real quick with this. They just kind of come to mind. Hold on just a minute. I'm gonna see if I can turn my fan on just a little bit. If it gets too bad and you guys can't hear me, I'll kick it off. But let me see if I can get a little bit of air going on in here. Hold on. That bad? You guys can hear me all right? I don't want a whoom noise on the hydrate. I'm afraid if I hydrate, I'll just start sweating even more. Oh my God. See what I do for you people? I hope you appreciate this. Rain or shine or lack of air conditioning, I'm like the mailman. I come anyway. All right, so what we're looking at here is we're looking at an M formation. Now, an M formation, as we've covered many times, is kind of like a cup and a handle in the respect the depth of the move, if you're using standard TA, is about from the crux to the top. Okay. Now this could be an inverted, it could be considered a double top, or we'll just call it an M here. So M formations can kind of be like W's or whatever. Now what you should end up with is you should end up coming down here, theoretically, right about there. Now, here's what I find interesting. If we were to follow this and go right over, oh, come on, trading view. There we go. Follow this, we have confluence. We have support and resistance. So XLM is likely to probably drop down here into the 29-cent range if we continue to take a slide downward. Now, I'm not suggesting this is just going to be a straight drop. So some of you guys that take me literally, you have to understand how these markets work before you can start criticizing the people that are giving you this information. I'm not going to get defensive about this. It's just simply before you open your yapper and start making comments about, well, we missed that target. I didn't miss the target. You just don't understand how markets move. These things will go down. They'll go up a little bit, and then they'll go down. Sometimes you'll get a little bit like this. You'll get a move up. It'll go down. It'll go up about 75, 80%, and it'll go back down. This is the way markets move. They don't go straight up. They don't go straight down. So like a call, for example, this is one very good example of this. This call went right here. We went down first, but then we hit it to the pixel right there. Boom, boom. Okay? That's the way a call works. So if you see it goes up, don't be hating. It'll just wait. It'll come around. So I'm expecting that this will be coming down. So I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that it will. So we actually have a little bit of a floor that I've kind of marked out on this thing here. So we've got a bit of a ways to go. The whole market is going to come down. So may not be today, may not be tomorrow, but rest assured, I'm telling you right now, it's going to go down. So this is one of the things I do want to make sure that you understand. So if you guys are in these positions, should you be selling? You know, we've covered this an awful lot. You know, I watch you guys chase knives to the bottom. You know, should I be? I probably see this question maybe about, I'd say about once a week. Somebody will pose and they'll say, "Hey, RB, should I get out of this and reposition?" Well, I don't go into great detail because I don't want to write you guys a book privately or anything like that. You guys should be listening to the live stream. You know, I've said this many times. I mean, it's kind of old hat at this point in time. But you must understand, if you got into that position in the first place, were you happy with it? And if the answer is no, then you're already behind the eight ball. You should be happy with the position you've taken. You should know. If you bought, I'll give you a hypothetical. If you bought right now at 35 cents, are you happy with it? Well, I think it's going to go up, but it went down. Well, okay. Is it going to go down? Is it going to stay down? Well, no, it's not. So are you comfortable watching this thing go to 30, 28, 27? Probably not. But should you sell? Well, most people, the psychology is they'll wait till it drops and loses money, then they'll sell, give some money to the crypto exchanges, go down, buy it back, give some more money to the crypto exchanges, buy it. And so by the time this thing drops in lost value, an in and out position, they've given away all the profit margin on or around as if they would have just stayed right here, because basically a repositioning by in and outing with the exchanges and the lost profits from the drop before they pull the trigger ends up basically being about the same amount of money. It looks good on paper that now you're in at 28 cents where you were in at 34, but the net effect is you really haven't made any money. Probably less because you weren't fast enough to get out. So it always gets back to the core thing. Be happy with where you're at. We've talked about the iceberg thing. I'm not going to go back and rehash this. It's far too hot in here to go into a long live stream. But we've talked about iceberg. We are at the bottom of the iceberg right now. There's more iceberg above us. So pick a position using the charts, using TA, using the things that I show you, and find those positions where, okay, if I'm good, I'm in. If it goes a little bit lower, I'll take up a hobby. I'll go somewhere else, find something to do, come back in a week or so and look and see if it's any different. That's what you need to do. Because staring at these charts, with your 8 monitors and all that stuff like that, you're going to get trade sickness. I assure you are. Or something about the information that comes out of multiple monitors that fosters trade sickness. I don't know what it is, but I think that they ought to be putting a warning sticker on monitors at the computer manufacturers. Warning may cause trade sickness in crypto investors. So anyway, let's go and take a look at a couple more, and then I am going to get up out of here. So Theta, as I told you guys, I expected Theta was going to basically just kind of be taking a nap this week, and to no surprise, it's been going sideways. It's just something that I had just a feeling. Theta tends to move ahead of everything else, and this is just kind of my observation on this. Theta tends to move ahead of the market, and XRP tends to move behind the market. So Theta moves first, market moves, and then XRP follows last but hardest. And so if I were to look at something for a direction, just broadly looking across the top 10 cryptos or 10 select cryptos, I would be looking at Theta and kind of go, what's Theta doing? And then going back and reverse engineering that and trying to stick it on the rest of the market and see. And I was watching Theta over here and telling you guys, this thing isn't going to go anywhere. And so what we've got, and I don't want to use this term because I know what you guys know what I mean by this, kind of looks like a sleeper. It's sleeping. And it's just going sideways, and it's waiting to explode out of this either up or down. Sleepers can go down, guys. I know you always want these sleepers to wake up running, but sometimes they wake up and fall out of bed. And you don't want to have that happen. And you know, given the fact that the market is promising to go down, we have some targets down here waiting for them. So I would not be surprised. Let me put this on a little bit different time scale here. Let's go and get into Platinum Pro. Let's look at 6 hour and see if we can kind of fatten this up a little bit, make a little bit of sense out of this. Welcome to Spaghetti Land. Okay, so what we've got here is a just a basic downward trend with a little bit of a break in. Now we've got, you guys that understand what opening and closing moves are, we've got the start of a closing move that can kind of come down and it'll put us right inside that target. So I won't explain. Go back and listen to some videos. You'll understand what I mean by opening and closing. So it's very possible that we will be coming down into the sub $5 range for Theta when everything starts to pour backwards. And it would not surprise me if Theta leads the pack happening first. Now, is this the bottom of the market? No, because we've already covered this on many, many live streams, what I'm forecasting for Theta. It's going to get deep. It's going to get deep. Theta's going to go down hard. It's going to go down low, and you're going to have a buying opportunity, and you better grab it because that's going to be it. And so I'll cover that in future broadcasts a little bit more. I don't want to get into detail. I want to just kind of flash through here real quick, give you guys a little something to chew on, and then get up out of here. So Theta Fuel. Theta Fuel is, like I said, I always like to kind of go back and remind you guys. I love it. Anytime it's under 25 cents, I like to buy it because it's a great swing trade coin that if you get stuck with it, all you got to do is wait it out. You don't lose money on it. So I've already got a target here. I need to move that down a little bit because my AIs move around a little bit. All right. So basically, you're looking at the TA. Technical analysis is not my call. This is what technical analysis people will tell you is coming. It happens to fit all of our AI lines. So that's fine. Now, I love it when we have conjunction between technical analysis and the stuff that I do. So that gives us further confluence right here. And so we're looking at coming down into the 28.5 cent range, and then from there probably lower. And then when we get down into the green zone, we start buying it and flipping it again. So the T-Fuel is a great one to be doing that with. Don't like doing it anytime it's above 25 cents because the return on investment just isn't that good. So also be watching T-Fuel. Watch Theta. T-Fuel and Theta don't really move in tandem the way they used to. So you can't look at them as a pair like XLM XRP is. So just want to make you guys aware of that. VeChain, I've been taking kind of cursory look. See, again, there's that M right there. And so here is that move that's just waiting to play out. So we've got a hell of a drop that's just waiting to go, So VeChain's going to be back on sale here really, really quick. So, now here's one that's just been a superstar. Just recently, it's just been rocking. Now again, that's not my call. That is TA. This is what TA says. Now I'll explain. There's the move right there. This would be considered a bull flag. You stick it right there, and it should be going there. I am not a buyer on this. I'm telling you that much right now. Way too much upward movement. It's time to chill out. Time to chill out and pull back a little bit. So to kind of put a little bit of fire cap on it, you've got your first line of resistance right there. You got your second line of resistance right there, and you got your third one right there. So what's going to happen with this? Well, at the end of the day, when we kind of get into the hard, brutal slide, we'll go down, down, and down. But it's not going to surprise me at all that we're going to fall out of this and kind of come down here and meander around, and we'll probably languish into a sideways thing until we get serious about the next drop down. So Cardano, in my opinion, right now, has had a damn impressive run. It's about high friggin' time this thing gave us something. But this is not the be all say all with no chance of a pullback because we're ready for one. This thing's had a good run. It's time for a pullback. So we're gonna cover the dogs, and I'm gonna scooch because I'm starting to it's getting hard to breathe in here. All right, so again, we've got cup and handle. So I'm looking at Doge, 15-minute. So here it is, guys, and just as pretty as you please. This is explaining exactly what we talked about at the first part of the broadcast. A 50% fake out. I love it when I can demonstrate something. So this was shown earlier today. Let me go back and give you. So I believe it was either yesterday or very, very early this morning. I got up at 7 o'clock this morning. I showed everybody that this is a cup and handle. All right. And I said, now this is very possible that what we're going to see is we're going to see a run to right here. And look what we did. So this is the move. Let me go back and really circle back. This is the move that should have happened. Okay, bottom to top to the rim. Actually, we could probably bring that down a little bit. It's irrelevant, but we should see from here to here should be the run. Okay, and I put that right here. Now, yellow is a lesser probability of happening. So I went to great, extraordinary detail to make sure that I put a green arrow. Green means I am all in on it. I'm telling you it's going to happen. When you see green, I'm like, money, baby, it's going to happen. Was I right? You tell me. Was I right? Yep. So what this is this is a 50% fake out. This should have gone up, and it should have just rock and rolled. But what it did is it went up. It stalled at 50% because we had confluence right here, and ta-da, dropped right out of bed. That's what they're doing to us, guys. So if you put your full faith in TA, you're going to get hosed. You're going to get hosed. You must have better tools. You must have discernment. And it doesn't hurt if you got a guy that understands bullshit when he sees it. So if you guys are like what you're seeing here, if you're new to the live stream, if you're impressed by what I'm just showing you here, please join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. That's our free Discord. And of course, obviously, if you'd like to subscribe to these charts, which does have these calls and shows you this stuff before it happens. I get out my digital crystal ball and I show you this stuff and I'm like, ta-da, because there's nothing in this world better than a good I told you so. So if you guys would like to subscribe to the charts, just simply go right here and go to subscribe. If you'd like to know a little bit more about what's in the packages, real quick, let me go ahead and breeze through this because I see a lot of new names in the group. A lot of guys come in at bronze and silver, but again, I want to tell you that if you come in and you really want to get the advantage of getting into the chats where the calls are, where I'm demonstrating, where I'm doing this stuff every single day, that starts at the gold VIP level. And I do hidden videos where you don't see in the public chats and stuff like that. And you do, and this is the main thing, you get a VIP chat, where you basically get a lot of the guys you're seeing in the live stream are members of the group. And we talk and we compare notes and, we really get down to the nitty gritty. And so these are all the coins. Obviously, the more you higher package now, the best of the best is platinum. Platinum is roughly about 100 coins, and we get 2 levels of chat. You get the gold and then the VIP silver and platinum also. Platinum is I get a lot more specific about this stuff that I'm doing. And we do have other programs above that. But generally speaking, it does not usually take most people who are serious about being in crypto. They come in and go, can I upgrade? No, I want to upgrade again. I want to upgrade again. You guys are killing me. I spend all my days upgrading everybody. But if you are serious and you're trading with, and let me give you a rough idea of where you should be. If you're trading with, let's say, over $7,500, I don't want anybody spending money they shouldn't be spending. I would rather push you away from the table and prevent you from doing something stupid. I am not an opportunistic person. We do not run that kind of organization. If it's not right for you, it's not right for you. And I don't want to see you try to treat this like a lottery ticket because I'm not here to be the next guy selling you, something shiny that doesn't work. But you've got to have the capital left to be able to use these. So I get a few people that come in, they go all in on something and they don't have any capital left, and you don't want to do that. So if you're trading with $7,500 to $10,000, then gold is where you want to be. If you don't have that much capital, then get something like a silver package and work your way up. A couple, 2 or 3 trades. The guys that are in the group will tell you, you get a couple good trades, you're in gold, no problem, real quick. A couple of my moderators came in as people that basically just wanted to be, just wanted to do that. And before they knew it, they ended up kind of working with us. So, and they've made enough money to be able to level up. So, but if you're working with, let's say over 20,000. Then platinum's where you want to be. Platinum has a lot more options and stuff like that. So just want to be kind of forthright with you guys and not sell you more than you need because there's just too many people out there that want to take your money and hope it all works out for you. I want you guys to do well. We have a motto. We say no crypto investor left behind, and I'm dead serious about that. So we have potatoes and farmers in Johannesburg, South Africa, and we have billionaires that are in this group. We want all you guys at every financial level to have a piece of the good life. All right. Okay, so anyway, back to this. So this is pretty much what I was explaining on the 50% fake out. So we're seeing an awful lot of this. So you've got to be careful. So this gets back to, are you happy with the position you've taken? You know, if you bought in right here thinking, oh man, this is going up, so I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to ride this ride right here, and then it drops out on you, you're not going to be loving this position that you bought. So you have to be happy with it. So let's take a look at one more dog coin. Now, I'm going to clarify for the people that like to whine. I'm compelled to call you guys out because you're just such a pack of sniveling. There's a few people that are kind of around the fray. They're not members. They're like, well, he doesn't like Shiba. No, I didn't say I didn't like Shiba. I said I like teasing people. There's a big difference. Okay. Let me explain. I'm not like most people. If I see something that I like, I'll tell you. I'm very forthright. But anybody who's been a fan of this live stream knows I've been shit talking, fun with humor. I've been shit talking Shiba for a long time. Doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just my way of keeping you out of it until it's time. Okay? So let's go back and examine the facts. Okay? Now that we have a case for this. When I started shit talking, I started to trash talk this, was around about here. And down she goes. Down she goes. Now, had I been yet again another person telling you we're going to the moon, blah, 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 how bad would you hate me? How bad would you hate me? And look at this. We've had a perfect arc, and we're coming down. And we're going to come down even lower. Sorry to tell you. I hate to burst your bubble. But take off your moon boots. You ain't going anywhere. Now, I will tell you this. I will tell you this to make you feel good. I'm in it with you now. I'm in it with you now. I've traded some of my slower coins. I'm in Shiba now. But I'm still going to trash it, okay? Now, I also want to say another thing, too. How come he hates Digibyte? Because I had 185 million of the goddamn things, and I sat on them for 6 months. And I'm not overstating. That was the number. I had a metric shit ton of those things. And I was staring at them forever and ever and ever. Yeah, I have a little distaste for Digibyte. I like the project. I really, really do. But I don't like it when I'm sitting when I'm sitting on it and everybody else is getting a piece of the pie and I'm not getting none of it. And so time value of money, very important. And so, when I you have to understand my good nature, okay? If I hate something, I'm going to come out and say it sucks. You never heard me say it sucks. I'm just basically telling you it's just not time. I mean, every time is not a good time to buy a coin. If you love Litecoin, whatever. There was a good time to buy Litecoin, but now, no, I'm not a fan. Am I a fan of Bitcoin? Absolutely not. But I would have been earlier on. I've owned Bitcoin before. I owned it at $5,000. I owned it at $2,500. Would I buy it now? Never. So I'm not a fan. Okay, so I want to be very, very clear about this to the people that do not understand. And the criticism is coming from people that, let's be honest, they're not investors. They've come into the space, they've listened to a few people, and they don't understand the cyclical nature of investing. There was a very good investor by the name of Kenny Rogers. And you got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them, kids. And, it wasn't time to hold them for some of these coins, and it was time to fold some others. So I simply want to clarify, and I want to make sure you guys understand what, when I say it's something, when I'm saying something, you got to understand where it's coming from. It's just not time to buy. All right. So anyway, I'm in it on Shiba, does that mean necessarily that I'm calling the bottom? No, I'm taking safety positions on Shiba right now. I see Shiba going even lower. I really do, because everything else is going to go low too. So just to kind of bring everybody up to speed, because I want you guys to understand. And the thing is if you're not clear on believe on something, join us at the Discord. I'm more than happy, and my mods understand me very, very well. If I don't come on and explain myself, then ask, and somebody in the group who's been a member of it for a very, very long time will explain. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make sure that you guys understand what's going on with that. So as far as Shiba goes and Doge goes, Crypto Rich, you guys know who he is. He hasn't done anything. See, he's a good example. I mean, he's sitting on $10 million. He's made over $10 million, $10.5 million. He's made from Doge. He's not buying anything. Hasn't bought anything for like about a month or so because it's not time. So he will probably be taking a position on Shiba, but he's not doing it right now because basically it just doesn't make any sense at his level to do that. I do believe, and this is also to kind of stay on the Shiba train here, there's going to be a lot of good things that are going to be coming on there. Speculating, I think if you guys understand anything about Shiba, you automatically know the news that's out there that's coming. I mean, there's a lot of talk that it's going to end up on Coinbase for whatever you think that means. It's going to end up on Robinhood. It's going to end up on Webull. It's going to end up on these things. And when these things happen, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. What you're going to see for growth, what's going to trigger the growth for Shiba, is this. If you don't understand the timeline or the sequence of events that's going to play out, we're at micro fractions of a penny. In as sexy as that looks, you can get 1.5 trillion of these things. For a can of pop, that's all good, but to really truly be a respectable coin, we got to get above a penny. So unless and until we get to a penny, we're not really dealing with air quotes, again, real money. So how's that going to happen? Well, it's going to happen through a series of things like a coin burn, obviously. It's going to happen through the inflation of the feel-good of being listed on these things. We're going to start shaving off zeros. But I'm going to tell you right now, what you're going to see in the sequence of events. So we got a lot of work to do to shave off those 5 zeros off of this price. Clearly, some of you may not understand exactly how hard that is to do, to go from whatever dollar figure that expresses to 1 penny. That's a lot. You got to shave off 4 zeros to get to that. Okay, so when we get to a penny, that's when it's legitimized in real world money, in real dollars, so to speak. So to go from a penny, that's when things start to get interesting, because you have to kind of understand the mind of the investor, of Joe Lunchbucket investor and people like that. You're like, well, it's a penny, it's a penny and a half, it's 2 pennies. When you go from a penny to 2 pennies, it's not that much, but it's 100% return on your money. So to go from, this is how I see it working out. I see that where we're at right now will be a series of a couple of events, like getting listed on major exchanges. That's gonna pump us up and shave off a considerable amount. There's probably going to be a coin burn in there somewhere. And utility, that's a conversation for another thing. There's what's the utility for Doge? It's getting there. I'm sorry, I am with you on that, Tim. That's what I started my shit talking about, because I'm totally in the boat with you, Tim. Totally. It's cute. That's yeah, good enough. Give me $1 billion. You derailed me there. Sorry. But anyway, so I digress. So what's going to end up happening is we're going to get the listing, and it's going to peel off some zeros and stuff. We're going to eventually creep up to sub penny. We can get to a penny. Well, when we get to that penny, that's when things really are going to get exciting, because what's going to end up happening is a penny is going to get the attention of, and I'm going to air quote the hell out of this heavily, real money investors. And, that's when things are going to start getting legitimate, because you're going to see people looking and go, well, it's a penny, I can buy it for a penny. It's 2 pennies. And it's going to go from penny to 2 pennies to 5 cents to 10 cents, from 10 cents to 20, 25, and on and up and up and up and up. Now, one other thing I want to interject in this, and I'll get completely off of this, is you must understand one more thing, and we're going to wrap up for the day. I'll cover a couple more things, and then we'll wrap up for the day. Do you want to live in a world where silver is at the projected prices that they're talking about silver, but do you want to live in a world where Shiba is 50 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents? We are not in a vacuum, boys and girls. We are not. And what does that 70-cent Shiba, or what does that 60-cent Shiba buy you in the real world? That's the question. So I want you to always keep that one little argument in the back of your head, because ain't nobody on YouTube talking like that. They just think that right now, a dollar buys you this, and we're going to 70 cents, or we're going to 60 or 50 cents, or whatever it is you think that she was going, and blah, blah, blah. No, 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 no. That's not the way this works. The dollar's going to buy less and less and less and less, and that's partly what's going to drive the price of all these cryptos and silver and gold and whatever sky freaking high, because the dollar's not buying as much. It's a lateral move, not an upward move. It's a lateral move. And we do get appreciation with that. So I want you guys to, so in the real world, for you guys that are not that are economically challenged in your understanding, in other words, what I'm trying to say is if it takes $2.50 to buy a loaf of bread right now, it might take $10 or $12 to buy that same loaf of bread. So the sexy notion of a 10-cent Shiba might not buy you as much as you think it will. Okay? So I want to keep that in the back of your mind, because it's very, very important that you understand it, because we do not live or we do not invest in a vacuum. There's real world shit going on. All right, so let's go back and let's take a look at a few other things here, and I'm going to slide out of here and go jump in the pool. All right, Matic. Again, didn't do a 180 on Matic. Let me clarify my position on this. I did not do a 180 on Matic. I said exactly what I felt about Matic, because it was not the time to buy Matic. So let's get in the right chart here. All right. So Matic's another one of those ones. I have to kind of go way back here to the conversation. Let me zoom in on 1 hour here, just so I can kind of have this talk a little bit better. All right. So my reversal, as some of these guys have phrased it, I hated Matic. Well, why wouldn't I? When it went clear up like this and slammed way down to 100%, gave back 100%. Of its give, took back 100% of the give, and shot up again 90%, and then pulled back. When we got to right here, I said, guys, not a fan, wouldn't buy it in a million years. I'm on record saying this. So for you guys that are Johnny-come-lately critics, was I right? I was right. You damn right I was right. And I want to point out another thing. We have not regained that ground ever. We're getting there, but was I right? I'm going to say it again. You goddamn right I was right. So for you critics, pull up a chair and listen. The doctor is in. It's time for some therapy. You guys need to understand how markets work. So to go back and clarify my position on Matic. Matic is an excellent product when the investment makes sense. This was blatant, rampant manipulation, and I saw it and I called it, and you can very clearly see I was right. It went straight down in the dumper, gave it all back, not once but twice. Boom, boom, gave it back twice, or took it back twice. Now where we at, this right here, this is normal, this is healthy, this is what we like. I am a buyer. Now I'm a buyer because this stuff was just utter nonsense, and I called it. So all right, are we clear on that? Every once in a while I gotta kind of spank you guys because you piss me off. So, all right. So anyway, Matic is going to go through a pullback again. So we're going to be back into this area here very, very easily. And probably we're going to be settling down into some of this. So when this thing gets back, Matic is going to be part of the new financial system. No question in my mind. No question in my mind. Right now, it's not a time to be buying Matic. Now, I'm showing you. I want to show you something here. So this is the call that should play, and I don't use the word call, but this is the velocity that should play. Let me show you something interesting about how manipulation works. So I've shown you guys already. I've shown you guys already that this is called the velocity. This is a TA move where you get this from here. Now let me show you. Right. Okay. So from the bottom of that channel right there to perfectly in line with that. That is a perfect move, all right? So this TA stacked right there is where that goes. That's how this works. If you've got a thing, so that's why this is yellow and not green, because I'm not all in on this idea. But then you get the manipulation and the flipping that these exchanges do. Let me show you a real interesting thing that happened. Okay, so this is the shorter version of that move. So if we stack that right here, let's see if I can move this over here a little bit, that makes sense. So from here to here, I'm sorry. Yeah, from here to here, notice it came and it settled right at that depth. Now again, if we take that and we put that at the bottom right here, I have to get it lined up perfectly, sorry. You can see it dipped right through there. So I'm some of you guys, this might be above the head of a few of you guys. What I'm showing you is this. These velocities always play out. They always do. Now, when an exchange gets enough people longing or shorting, they will just take this velocity and use it against us completely 180 degrees the opposite direction. Nobody, no matter how skilled they are, no matter how many neat toys or prognostications they've got, is ever going to be able to outwit that, because it's just from the devil, man. They know all the cards and stuff like that. So what I'm telling you is this is what we call an opening move right here. This, I'm telling you right now, is going to play out. This, it didn't go up here, so we can stick it right here, and lo and behold, look at that, matches right in line with that red line that was already there. This is coming down. So it's going to come down because we have once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. It's going to come down, it's going to strike this red line. So this velocity is going to play out. It's called a closing move. So all we got to do is wait for it. And this is why you don't ever, ever, ever trust TA, because it will let you down, especially in a crazy manipulated market. You know, when things start to move and you start to get a little bit of a demonstration that things are working, then you can start to put a little bit more faith in and stuff like that. But the nice part about this is the lower we go, and again I call it the iceberg, the lower we sink on the iceberg, they can only steal so much from us on the downward stroke. And eventually we start buying everything at floor prices. The only thing you can do is go up. And so if you're buying something like Matic, which is not low enough for my liking yet, but if it comes down even lower and you buy it and it goes a little bit lower, wait, because it's going to come back around. So Matic, to clarify again, yeah, I was shit talking it. Rightly so. I was vindicated in that. So it's time to buy Matic, you know, when the prices are good. I'm a heavy, heavy believer because it's going to be part of the new financial system. So just to be clear on that. So anytime I actually say something, listen to the words that I say. Don't stick words in my mouth, because I got a lot of words that come out of my mouth on their own. You know, you just have to listen to them and understand what I'm saying. All right, let's take a look at Populous real quick here. So I'm kind of cooling down in here a little bit. I got the window open, so I can kind of go a little bit longer. I knew damn well I shouldn't have called this video 5 minutes or 10-minute long, because we all knew I wasn't going to go 10 minutes. So, all right. So Populous is another one of those. Yeah, thank you for your comments on my girlfriend. Yeah, she was actually sitting out on the deck getting some sun today, so she's getting around, so she'll be fine. All right, so Populous is now this. Oh, I like to see this. This is what we call a sleeper. She's just chugging along, waiting for that next, just like a cobra in the grass, just waiting to just jump up and bite. Now, let me zero in on this a little bit here and make this a 15-minute chart. Let's make it a 30-minute chart. All right, so we have, going back to that velocity thing that I talked about. So let's go ahead and grab this right here. Oops, that's not what I want. So we've got something called an opening move here. Right there. That has to be expressed in what we call a closing move. Computers do something and they undo them. So what you're looking at is the need to either go up or go down from where we're at. And how you find that is you find that by kind of going into the last armpit. And you have to move these things along a little bit and see where they make sense. He moved his line. Yes, that's called investing. You have to change. You have to stay up with the market. Some of you guys in your comments, absolutely, you make me pull out. I don't have that much hair to do it with to begin with, but you guys make me pull out my hair, because some of you guys that are new investors or new people that are to crypto don't understand what you're looking at. He called this and he changed his opinion. Yes. We change our opinion. That's called investing. You play the card. Find me a blackjack player that puts all his bets out for the five decks of cards that are coming. Find me any blackjack player that plays like that. This is blackjack, is what this is. We're playing the hands that are being dealt. We have to play the turn, the river, the flop, those are blackjack terms. We have to play on every card that's dropped in front of us. The card drops here, we make our decision. The card drops here, and when we find it, we find something that lines up, we pull the trigger and we drop the money, or we pull the money off the table. That's the way this game is played. And if you don't understand that, sit back and watch how the pros do it, learn before you open your mouth, and actually benefit from the knowledge that's being dropped on you. Because there's a lot, and I'm not just me, there's a lot of other people out there that are extremely good at TA, but they don't understand some of the things that I talk about, like 50% moves, J hooks, some of this stuff, because pattern recognition is something that I'm good at. They're playing straight TA, but doesn't mean they can't teach you something. So, if you're new to the game, talk less and listen more. You might be surprised what it'll do for your portfolio. All right, so as far as this goes, so again, let's kind of bring this full circle here. So we've got a hell of a drop. Now, Populous is known for its explosive moves. It just is. So I'm not suggesting that this is going to drop. Well, yeah, actually I am. So if we go from the top, this green line right here, it's a dead nuts move. So it's very possible we could be seeing that's a dual AI line to a called. Yeah, it's very possible we could be seeing a drop, something like that. So if we go back further, oh yeah, definitely. We've got massive amounts of yeah, there it is right there. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for a call line that had come in the past. Yeah, we've got a depth down there, no doubt about it. All right, so Populous is known for doing some explosive moves up and down. This thing is going to do very, very well. As the economy goes to shit, this thing is going to be a superstar. But not yet, because it's going to take a while. But we covered Populous on a couple of our crypto chats with Red Bear, and he talked about what this is and what it does. I think we're probably out. My guess, because I'm coming from a manufacturing and from a business standpoint, I think we're probably, when this thing really hits its stride, I'm putting this out probably about anywhere from 18 to 24 months before this thing starts to really, I'm not suggesting it's not going to do well, but when this thing really starts to get ahead of steam where you're like, geez, I'm glad I bought this, you're probably going to have to wait at least about a year and a half to 2 years before this thing really starts to kick ass and take names. But you want to buy all of it you can while it's on discount. So if this thing takes now this drop, I'm not saying this is a flash drop. I'm saying it's working its way down, a little bit lower, and eventually finding its way down here. So, but from where we're at now, which is right there to down this area, it's 43% drop. Yeah, I know that sounds outrageous, but look at this. How outrageous was this? If it can do this, it can turn around and do this. It's going to happen. So, all right. So Populous is not one I'm invested in. This is kind of last thought of the day, and then I'll cut you guys loose. There's so many good projects out there. It's kind of like I just got a mental image. Some of you guys are my age. I'm 54 years old at the end of next month, or next month. Some of you guys remember The Price is Right, or I think it's Bob Barker, Price is Right. They put you in the money box and the money's flying all over. You got to grab as much of that money and put it in your bag as you can. You got 5 minutes to be in that box. Was that Price is Right that did that, or Let's Make a Deal? I can't remember which game show that was. I'm having a Joe Biden moment. I can't remember, but one of you older guys remember what game show that was. But it's kind of akin to that. You got money flying all over the place, and you're in the box, and the exchanges are going crazy, and you got to grab that, and you got to get it put in your bag, and whatever you get at the end of 5 minutes, that's what you get to keep. And that's kind of the way crypto is. So you might be grabbing a $5 bill that's floating past your nose, or you might be grabbing a $100 bill. It's just a hurricane of money going all over the place. And a lot of you guys are trying to buy everything, and that's going to be a problem when everything goes up, because you're not going to have time to be able to unload all this stuff, because when it goes up, it's all going to go up, and you're going to feel really shitty when you're not able to execute 100 trades to dump it all at the top of the market. So sorry to tell you, some of these possibilities or these probabilities or these good projects are going to have to go by you. So you just got to take the odds, and you got to evaluate everything for its growth potential. Okay, one more comes to mind because I'm looking at it right here. Someone, I want to smack down the haters one more time because it's just so damn much fun. So, so he doesn't like Dent. Nope. I'll tell you how I got into Dent because some of you guys don't know. Well, he didn't talk about Dent ever, and then all of a sudden he started talking about Dent. There's a reason, because one of our diamonds called me up and said, "Hey, do you take Dent?" I didn't even know what Dent was. Heard about it. And he's probably in the chat, Lenny. And he says, "Do you take Dent as a payment?" Oh, yeah, let me look it up. I plugged it into Anubis, which is our AI system. Now, listen to me, guys, you haters. Listen to me. I'm going to tell you exactly why I came into Dent. And I took a look at this thing, and I went, holy shit. And that happened right there. And I said, yes, I do. And he paid in Dent. And then I started to chart it, and I plugged it into Anubis. Now, you guys who were in the charts saw what I did. I started to make these lines. And let me get this out. What I did was I took a look at this massive run up, and again, I'll go back and I'll re-reference Matic. It was fuckery, guys. This is not normal. If you think it is, you're in the wrong investment group, guys, because this is not how crypto goes and stays. It does not ever work this way. I knew this, and it would come down. I knew this would not repeat itself. This would go into what we call kind of a wave. And so what I told everybody is I said, hey, look, I'm going to take delivery on some Dent here. Think it's a good project. And it happened right there. Dumb luck, but that's how my life is. So this thing dropped in my lap right here, and I said, here's where it's going to go. And so I forecasted, and I said it's going to go to right. Let's go ahead and check and see. You guys that were part of this, I said it's going to go right here. And I showed the line right there. And look where it went. Hit it. And when it hit that, I said, I'm dumping it. And I dumped it. And it was, but it's going to go higher. No, it's not. No, it's not. And then I drew this triangle way back here. I drew this, and this is a one-day chart. I drew this triangle, and I said, you watch what happens. And lo and behold, bang, bang, bang. She's right inside this triangle for this entire time. I've been right for over 2 weeks. Exactly what this thing is going to do. So meanwhile, the haters are talking smack, and they're looking pretty damn stupid, if I must say so myself, because you cannot argue with what you're looking at, because it's been a matter of public record. I've shown you what this was going to do. I'm not stealing anyone's calls. I don't need to steal anyone's calls. I am a 30-year investor. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right? So I made this call, and it's played out beautifully. Now, what I'm telling you is coming next is exactly what's going to happen. This is called a J-hook, and you can see it very, very clearly. The strength is popping out of the top of the channel. It's going to go up a little bit. It's going to do that 50% fake out, and she's going to drop, and she's going to drop down, 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 down. Now, where she's going to drop to, probably to the red line, because it's 50% of the purple fairy line. At that point in time, what I've already told everybody, I am very comfortable with anyone that wants to buy in that zone. Not a problem. You don't have to grab the complete bottom. Now, am I a fan? I am a huge fan of this. But when the price is right. I'm not a fan of overpaying for anything. So here's the deal. When this drops, and it will, when this drops to under 0.005, then I'm going to buy back in. Not with the fierceness that I had before, but I'm going to buy back in because I understand what this coin is. You guys know that I spent a great amount of time in Africa, and I've been all over the world, and I've seen this stuff, put my hands on it, used it. And Dent is massive, massive. So I don't need anyone suggesting that I'm copying their work, because I don't need to copy anyone else's homework. I know exactly what I'm talking about. All right? Okay, so let me see. Did we already cover it? No, I'm not going to go over everything tonight, because I just want to make sure that a few things are kind of understood. So let's leave it at that. Kind of quashed the haters and got myself satisfaction out of that. And so anyway, if you guys are new to the live stream, thank you very much for joining. This is a little bit unusual. Like I said, my air conditioning is like 100 friggin' million degrees in this room. I'm sitting next to a 100 terabyte computer that's kicking out the mouth of hell on my left leg right now, so I'm about ready to die and go stick my head in the pool here. So we will get back to a regular broadcast. So again, you guys that are part of the August, soon to be September crypto roundtable, don't sweat it. We'll get to it. I just got to be able to think straight, so I'm not pouring down sweat when I'm trying to do stuff. We'll get it. It's not time sensitive, so I had all the intent of doing that. I might get to it tomorrow. We'll have to see if I can get an air conditioning guy out, but don't sweat it. We'll be fine. We'll get it. All right, so anybody else have any questions really quick? If not, I will go ahead and wrap up. I'll give you a minute here. I'll go through a few things and see if anything else kind of jogs my memory I want to talk about. Did have toss in a question if you want to. So Electroneum, let's mention one more time because this was a high flyer. So again, this is what I'm talking about. You guys, I keep showing this stuff over and over again, telling you, and I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening. He didn't like Electroneum. No, I don't like what Electroneum's going to do. I love Electroneum. I told everybody that there's a reason Electroneum is on this list because I like it. I wouldn't have it on here if I didn't. Electroneum's another one of those African coins, and I said, I listed it and was clear down here and told you this is going to be a big thing. Up, up, up she goes. I drew that flag. I said something's going to happen. Boom, she dropped. And now what we've got is this. It's dropping, and it's not done dropping yet. So, do you want to own Electroneum? Yes. Do you want to own it now? No. Wait. This is not the week to be buying and jumping into things, all right? All right, you're stealing my line, Simon. All right, so, as usual. So some of you guys don't understand the meaning of that. I think I'd like to share this with you here one quick because it's actually, as a matter of fact, it's had a good friend. Some of you who know my history know who I am and what I do. I do an awful lot of things other than crypto. I'm a manufacturer. I'm a world travel bon vivant. I do an awful lot of things. I'm also a manufacturer. I had a television show. I own a producing company. Very good friend of mine, Big Papa Schnocky. Sometime we'll talk about him publicly. This is the God, he's been gone for, very good friend of mine. He's been gone for now close to 10 years. And he was the host of my show, Red Baron TV. And you can find clips of, little clips of him all over YouTube. Big Papa Schnocky, Schnake. Funniest guy you'll ever see. He's just a walking, talking party. And when he used to sign off our shows, this is what he would say. Until next time, be safe, be good, and be good at it. Peace and hair grease, baby.